travel over the Thanksgiving period may have taken a turn for the better. The Transportation Department and the FAA said Friday they were lowering mandatory flight reductions from 6% to 3%, and that went into effect yesterday. Joining us with insight on how to get around if you're traveling by air at this time of year is Jen Ruiz, a travel blogger and author, as well as a travel content creator on Instagram. You can find her at Jen on a Jet Plane. Good to have you with us today, Jen. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, now your reaction to the latest, the reduction in reductions.
So it's a positive change, but it doesn't mean that we're out of the woods. We're heading into what is already the busiest travel season of the year. And so really, people still have to prepare for delays. There's still a 3% reduction in flights from these major airports. So the same precautions apply. Whenever possible, try to get a direct flight first thing in the morning. It's least likely to be delayed. You don't have that added chance of possibly missing that connection. Take your own bag. Don't check it. Take it carry-on. That way you can be flexible if you do need to make any last-minute changes. Make sure that your information is updated on the app of the airline that you're flying with. I know we all have a lot of apps, but make sure that you have the app for your airline downloaded so that you can be the first to know if something happens and you need to make alternate arrangements.
And there have been so many changes to policies in air travel. Are there any others that are really standing out to you that are still affecting travelers in the near period?
In general, I think we need to know what are travelers entitled to, right? What are the laws that currently protect travelers in the US? And unfortunately, there's really not that many. If you are flying to or from the EU, there are enhanced protections for the delay based on the length of your flight and how long it's delayed for. But for now in the US, you're entitled to a full refund if your flight does not move forward and you choose not to take an alternate flight. You are entitled to water, a snack, the ability to deplane if you're held on the tarmac for 3 or more hours. And you are entitled to lost luggage delays, protections, damaged luggage delays and protections as well. But other than that, things like overnight accommodations, any snacks at the airport, those are all going to vary by airline. And you can see all of those under the airline customer service dashboard that's put together by the DOT, although notably FAA delays and things are not necessarily covered. It's more for their controllable delays that the airline has.
Your best advice for travelers managing with cancellations and in that moment, what they should do?
So the first thing that you want to do is act quickly. You don't want to wait because you have to think that there's going to be a whole other plane of people that are also looking for alternate arrangements and limited seats in the other flights. So you want to move fast. If you see a long line at the airport, you don't necessarily have to make that line to make changes. You can do a lot, like I mentioned, on the app or even calling in, even on social media. You can reach a different customer service team that way. And I've been able to get some forms filled out, some issues with lost luggage handled through social media. So use all of the avenues available to you. And if you find that you're being delayed, try something different because time is of the essence.
Now, I did notice some news just this past week saying that the Trump administration blocked a plan to force airlines to pay customers for canceled flights. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, this has been something that has been trying to be passed for a long time because, as I mentioned, it's something that the EU has had for a long time and it works well for them. These are long established codified compensation rules that we do not have. We don't have those similar consumer protections here in the US where you think that we would. And so we know that it is possible to have legislation that allows for compensation in the event of a delay, but it's something that was proposed by the prior administration. It's something that was shut down by this administration. And it's something that it feels like is constantly an uphill battle, even though we've seen a working model of it elsewhere, because it's just not necessarily in the airline's interests. That's why I mentioned if you do have a flight that's coming to or from the EU, you could be potentially covered by different regulations.
Great to have your advice today, Jen Ruiz. Thank you so much, and safe travel to you if you're heading out for Thanksgiving.
To you as well. Thank you.